Back again with another reaction. Today's video is a little something different, y'all. If you guys love Power, please put in the comment box what was your favorite season, favorite episode, favorite part. Let me know. But this video is talking about will Ghost return. So we're gonna jump into this together. We're gonna see what it's about. Hopefully it's some key points. Hopefully we figure out and find some Easter eggs or whatever, and we see what it's hitting on. Hopefully it's hitting on something good where we could continue this rabbit hole. We're gonna jump into this head first. So before we do that, get your snacks and drinks and head to the couch and watch this with your boy. Let's go.
I love playing it. I miss most the opportunity to take the story to where I thought it could be taken in terms of the ending. I want to give absolutely the fans what they're saying. So come back. I want to come back for that specific reality. Sometimes you can't rewrite that which has already been written.
It would have to just be the perfect thing. He asked me before to come back. He asked me in the last year and a half to come back.
Will we ever see you as Ghost in any shape or form?
Yeah, you will, Maddie.
So, Omari Hardwick said that we will see Ghost in some shape or form in the future, and I think this is probably the breakdown I do want to end this year on. Omari Hardwick's latest interview where he spoke to All the Smoke. What does he mean when he says Ghost will return? Will we see Omari Hardwick return as Ghost on Power? I guess it's kind of gone from I didn't get paid enough to I wanted the ending of Power to end this particular way. Him saying in some interviews the story for Ghost is over, to now saying we will see Ghost again. But in what capacity, and will it even be on Power? There's also been a lot going on in the background in terms of a back and forth between him and 50 Cent with various interviews and podcasts, and we are going to go through a couple of timeline of events in this particular breakdown, especially 50 Cent saying how Omari Hardwick sees himself as a face of the network. And I also want you guys to get in the comment section.
I low-key heard that Omari had got a little big-headed, like he was better than everybody from what I was hearing. But we're gonna see. Let's go. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
And let me know what you think, because I will drop my opinion later on in this breakdown. But I'm really interested to hear what you guys kind of stand on this situation. Now, in the grand scheme of things, in the end, we're going to take a look at what does this mean for the Power universe going forward, because after all, this is a Power channel. We're going to be looking at these comments from a Power universe perspective, and also what it could mean for the Power world. Now, just before we dive deep into Omari Hardwick and 50 Cent, I'm sure everybody wants an update on both Raising Kanan and Force. Unfortunately, I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. We just have to wait for the official announcement, but it's probably pretty clear Raising Kanan won't be coming until at least Feb, as a minimum. I guess it would be nice to have an official date so at least we know. At least I know when I can kind of book a vacation. But it is what it is. I'm sure the official announcement will come soon. I'm sure at least next month we will see a Raising Kanan trailer. But with that being said, let's take a look at this back and forth between Omari Hardwick and 50 Cent.
We need these dates because we need to fill these gaps, man. We need it. We need it. Y'all been giving out great content, so we need this to keep going. You know what I mean?
And then we'll come to Omari Hardwick's latest comments on Ghost returning. Now, this Omari Hardwick and 50 Cent beef, if you kind of want to call it beef, goes way back. Omari Hardwick has done countless of interviews where he's mentioned that he's never really been happy with the way Power kind of ended. He wanted to give the fans something kind of very different, and the show kind of fell off towards the back end of Power. He also mentioned Stars did approach him, which I believe was in 2021. They went back and forth, but it sounded like they couldn't agree terms, and it kind of sounded like it came down to the money, which I believe was probably around the time where they were filming this particular scene with Tariq's kind of nightmare in season 2. He also basically said he never made the money he should have back on Power. If I'm not mistaken, I think he made 150k per episode, and he believes he should have made more.
Hold up. I'm confused, bro. I bring this back. Was that really on the phone? Or is this shit made up? Because I ain't see that. I ain't see that.
2. He also basically said he never made the money he should have
Hold
back
on,
on Power
I'm tripping.
in season 2, really around the time where they were filming this particular scene with Tariq's Kind of Nightmare in season 2. He also basically said he never made the money he should have back on Power. If I'm not mistaken,
that's weird.
I think he made 150k per episode, and he believes he should have made more. At one point, he also said he even borrowed money from 50 Cent, which he was grateful for. And at the time, the headline was 50 Cent robbed me on Power, which I did think was a little unfair. If you actually watch the Pivot podcast, Omari never really spoke bad about 50, and there are kind of two perspectives to this. One, once you see the headline, the internet is a wild place. Trust me, being a content creator, I definitely know. Sometimes all people read is the title or the headline, and they run with that narrative without actually watching the full video, interview, or doing the research. People see the headline, a 30-second clip on an Instagram reel, a YouTube short, or a 10-second TikTok, and the 1-hour interview can often be misconstrued. It's also why I make a point of going through all the details in my breakdown, and why I often mention we're going to run through the evidence, facts, and findings. We're going to run through the research, the quotes, and the evidence, and that will bring me to my thesis for my particular theory or prediction. There's always logical approach in my breakdowns. But once you see this headline on social media, it gets shared, and often, quotes are taken out of context. Now at the time, 50 did respond and said, "See, this shit is kinda crazy. I was the one who was looking out for them." And this is the other perspective from 50 Cent's kind of point of view. Omari saying he never got paid. Who do you guys think the finger gets pointed towards? Is it Courtney Kemp? Is it Stars? Or is it 50 Cent, who everybody associates with the Power universe with?
But when he says this stuff on, I think he overvalues himself, to be honest with you. Because since then, it's been a long time since he hasn't been in Power. Why are we not excited about the new projects?
So y'all not cool, it sounds like.
No, because you leave it like it's me not giving you the money. If he's saying it and he's going, Courtney and the 50, no. You saying that, they don't know who the fuck Courtney is. I introduced people to her. They don't know who she is.
Yeah, I feel what I feel what Fifth's saying. It's basically like everybody's gonna automatically look at me when shit don't go right, but it may not be my call. But being that I introduce y'all to these people, you're automatically gonna look at me as the person that's really saying, "Oh, this, that, and this is going this way." And if it's negative, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's Fifth." Yeah, I dig what he's saying. I totally understand that shit. They pinpointing, but it ain't him. You know what I'm saying? But he introduced y'all, so you're gonna automatically think that he's the one behind everything. He's not.
So you leaving it for if 50 didn't make sure I got paid. When Mary will tell you she got paid.
On The Breakfast Club, 50 Cent spoke about the situation, and he basically said the following. "I think he overvalues himself, because it's been a long time since he's been on Power. Why are we not excited about the projects? If there was any noise, if he was that big of a draw, then we would see the noise, we would see the new things and the new projects. We'd see you out there actively in a place where they're looking for you." And when he was asked if they were still cool, 50's response was, "No, because you leave it like it's me not giving you the money." So, from 50 Cent's point of view, he wasn't happy because he sees as Omari Hardwick saying 50 Cent never gave him the money. He also mentioned how he overvalues himself. And shortly after 50 Cent's interview with The Breakfast Club, Notori Norton also came out to Omari Hardwick's defense.
I just heard that. That's insane to me. Omari is literally the epitome of power. Omari Hardwick started this amazing, like the journey. And I don't know all of what happened with 50 and O, but I'll...
So, she said it was insane. Omari Hardwick was the epitome of power, and hopefully 50 Cent and Omari can kind of, find peace and love. We then had 50 Cent being kind of 50 Cent on social media. We know what 50 does. I was minding my own business, but here we go again. Shake my head. I don't have a problem with a problem. Do we have a problem? Now more recently, 50 Cent also came out and did an interview where he basically mentioned how Omari wanted all the success to be his. But there isn't just one person responsible for a hit television, it's a collective effort. He also gave him money when he wasn't in a good financial spot. But Omari saying he feels like he didn't get paid not only points the finger at 50, but it's also because he sees himself as a face of the entire network. And what do we all think? Is Omari Hardwick the face of the network? Is Omari Hardwick the face of the Power universe? I think we can probably make an argument where in some cases he actually is. At the front of a lot of teams.
I believe that as well. Yeah, I think he is to a certain degree. But if it continues to where the shit's not hashed out, man, like, and if Power do mysteriously come back, which I think it is, me personally, you have to. You cannot, listen, the way that it ended, it can't just stay like that. You have to show who they were talking to, what's going to happen now. This shit done started a whole new chapter of what Power's going to bring, man, or hopefully what they will bring, because I hope that shit come back. I hope it's not like, oh, we're going to end it here, and I don't want to speculate. I need that shit ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
Teasers and images.
Oh, but no, my bad. Back to his Omari being the face. If they continue and he doesn't come back and they just keep going without him, I mean, eventually he's going to be forgotten. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Is still Ghost. The first spin-off that comes off the back of Power was called Power Book 2 Ghost. The character that a lot of fans and the audience have been calling for a return for is Ghost. But I also agree with what 50 Cent says in the sense that it definitely is a collective effort from the writers, the rest of the cast and crew, and most importantly, we also have to remember there was a time during Omari's audition where the higher-ups weren't exactly on board with Omari Hardwick being chosen as Ghost.
When Omari's read was over and he left the room, I got on the phone with him. Yo, you all right? Okay, but they're telling me they're not sure you're the guy. What are we going to do about that? Well, if they feel that way, they should probably just go with someone else. Omari kept telling me he didn't care if he lost the role, but I knew he didn't mean it. Listen, there's a reason why you're on top of the call sheet, I told him. I insisted that your name was first, and the reason I did is because I saw you in next to air. I know you can kill this role. We wrote it with you in mind. You are going to be the star of a TV series playing Ghost. Do not let your ego trip you up here. If those execs don't think you're right for the role, go back in there and prove to them that you are. Finally, he began to see things my way. We started talking about Ghost's motivations and future storylines. His energy picked up. Omari began to see what I saw. You're right, 50, he told me. I can be this guy. By the end of the conversation, he was excited and ready to read again. I set it up for the next day, and this time he was completely locked in. He had swagger and was menacing, but there was a deep intelligence in his eyes too. He was in the pocket. He was Ghost.
50 Cent was the one who vouched for Omari Hardwick, which is something he mentioned in his book Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. 50 had to convince Omari to come back after his audition didn't go as planned at first. He had to really push for Omari Hardwick to be the one to play the role as Ghost when the higher-ups at Starz weren't keen after the first audition. Now, without 50 doing so, Omari Hardwick would never even got the role as Ghost. I think that definitely puts a lot into perspective. But the crux of the issue is, Omari feels like he wasn't paid enough, especially when you've got all these shows that have spun off from the back of Power. And 50 isn't happy because the finger gets pointed in his direction when all he's ever done is look out for everyone. Now, during this interview, 50 did also mention that Ghost was actually supposed to be killed off in Season 5. And I do wonder what Power could have been like had Ghost been killed off in Season 5. Would that have been the end of Power, or would they still have gone forward with the Season 6? What would the spin-offs had looked like if Ghost was taken off the chessboard in Season 5 instead of Kanan? I did run through a what-if kind of scenario in regards to this particular quote, and what an alternate Power Book 2 storyline could have looked like with Dre and Mecca as the main villains. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down below in the description section. But that brings us up to speed, and to the latest Omari Hardwick interview where he mentioned, we will see Ghost again at some point in the future. Now, this is a change compared to what Omari Hardwick has said before, although there are a few different perspectives and angles we definitely do have to consider. He basically said, yeah, we will see Ghost, which is something Omari Hardwick has never said before in his interviews or podcasts. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this breakdown, before it was more like I wasn't happy that kind of the way Power ended, I wasn't happy with how much I was paid and so on. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's openly said, yeah, we will see Ghost again. And it does have to make us wonder, what's changed? And if something has changed, in what capacity will we see Ghost? Will we see him back as an alive character in a hallucination? Or could he just be returning to maybe narrate just Power Origins? Now, you guys definitely know where I kind of stand on this particular situation. I've said it before. As much as I love Ghost's character, bringing him back as an alive character, I'm just not sure that makes too much sense from a storyline perspective. I think it really would be challenging to bring him back as an alive character because you really do have to kind of nail the storyline. You'd have to bring back Tariq, Tommy, Ghost, and Tasha all under one spin-off and storyline once again.
But I don't think it'd be hard. I think it could happen. It could definitely happen without people really trying to dig, because it's people want Ghost back. They do. Like, some people are willingly to just say, okay, he's back, I'm happy, let's see where this go. I think he might. I think they might get the fans what they want. I don't think a lot of people is gonna like dig if they do, to be like, oh well, this needs to happen, this, or I hope this happened. I think the writers are great at what they do, so I believe if they bring him back, they're gonna kill it, hands down.
And what can they possibly do with them all together again? Is it even viable financially? There would just be way too many hurdles. And I think coming back as an alive character, even though it's not impossible, I personally think is highly unlikely. Now, what I wouldn't mind seeing is...
See, I think they can cross those hurdles. I think they can jump them. I don't think it'll be a problem. My bad, I'm looking out the window. Somebody walking by. But I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think it'll be something hard for them to do. I really think he might, and I'm gonna tell you why I think he might come back, is because they never showed the body. Yeah, they never showed the body. And Ghost was smart. So I'm hoping that they can hash it out, make it happen, bring Ghost back, man. Team Ghost
is a Power movie, and seeing a scenario or a situation before Ghost opened Club Truth. Corny Ken mentioned a while ago that she did pitch a Power movie around a specific moment in Ghost and Tommy's past, and I do wonder if they could kind of revisit this. Could we see Ghost return in like a one-off movie to fill some gaps in his storyline, or a trilogy of Power movies to fill part of Ghost's backstory? We are going to see Origins at some point, but will they kind of lead Origins all the way up to when Ghost and Tasha set up Kanan? Who knows? But I'm sure there might be a gap to fill between Origins and the beginning of Power, and I personally wouldn't mind seeing something different in the form of a couple of Power movies. Let's not forget, when we were first introduced to Ghost, they were already in an 8-month working relationship with Felipe Lobos. But what about before? What happened with the Trenton beef? Could they go deeper into his relationship with Roller? What about things such as his relationship with Julio? How he kind of got him out of the Toros Locos gang? There's so many different angles they could explore. What his life was like before opening Club Truth. I mean, I personally would love to see a Power movie. It would be quite something different. Or does Omari Hardwick mean a return in just a hallucination? I do think at some point both Tariq and Tommy do need to see Ghost before their story is complete. And I have said it before, Power started with Ghost and it has to end with Ghost. Although on Power ending, I think they've made it pretty clear Power never ends, and we probably will see spin-off after spin-off, and probably even a couple of Power movies eventually. They definitely...
Yo, if they drop movies, I know that shit gonna be fire.
You have more than one cooking, at least in the background, or at least at the table kind of discussing a few, because after all, the Power universe will still be expanding. Whether that involves Ghost as an alive character in a hallucination, potentially in a movie based on past events, or a narrator for Power Origins, who knows? Now from my perspective, just listening to Omari Hardwick's interviews, he can't always control the questions that he's asked, and because his character was really loved because of the way he portrayed Ghost, people will always associate him and ask him about Ghost. Will Ghost return? Are you coming back? You know, those questions are kind of out of his control. But the way he speaks and kind of what he said over the years, I think he kind of definitely misses playing Ghost. I do think he definitely misses the role. He even mentioned he'd love to...
He played it so good, it's hard to see him as something else. On some real shit. It is.
Come back, but you can't rewrite what's already been written. And in his latest interview, he also mentioned, we will see Ghost even if it's not on Power. And I think he means we'll probably see characteristics and the actor that made Ghost's character, but just in other roles. And I kind of know what most are thinking. They want to see Ghost back on Power. They want to see James St. Patrick. And so do I. I want to see him return in a hallucination. I want to see him come back, narrate Power Origins. I want to see him in a potential Power movie. Will that happen with this back and forth between him, 50 and Stars? Who knows? Could it also be a big publicity stunt where they then make a huge announcement? I mean, it really would be typical of 50. That definitely can't be ruled out either. But either way, I think we definitely haven't heard the last of this one. And when there is something further to update you guys with Omari Hardwick in regards to the world of Power, rest assured, I will be breaking it down in terms of what it means for the Power universe. With that being said, this is my final video for 2024. And I want to say a huge thank you to you guys who have stuck around for what seems like a very long time, even though it's only been around 4.5 years since I started my channel just before Power Book 2 Ghost. But here's to many more years covering Power with you guys. And as you guys know, whenever there is a break, I'm always kind of working on things in the background. So in the new year, I will have an announcement or two in regards to a few changes we will be implementing going forward. But let's leave it there for 2024. I wish you guys a happy new year, and I can't wait to drop a few announcements in 2025. But as always, thank you guys.
Listen, Happy New Year's to you as well, bro. Listen, I think they should at least they should do like a what if, or not a what if, but like an actual little jaunt, like if he comes back, like a little short film, just to see what the fans, the reactions would be, and see the numbers and see what the fans want. And if it goes well, I think they should bring him back. You know what I'm saying? Money to be made. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Smash that, subscribe, turn on notifications. I love all my subscribers. Please, let's get these videos out there. And like always, it's love, peace, and good vibes over here. Happy New Year. I hope everyone have a blessed, safe, luxurious, better financial, better health, be more in tune with God, New Year. Until next time, let's go.